Two-man game, TMG, get the news fast, AMG, game of two boxes. Name two boxers that hit as hard as this. Yeah, we're cutting to the truth, no there ain't no narrative. Eyes up on the cup this year, hear the stadium erupt this year. For my team, TMG.
Alright, welcome to episode 57. Is it 57?
56, bro.
56. I was a week ahead of schedule. But you know what
Jumping
it is. Jumping the gun. We've had as many episodes as Canelo's had fights. Is it? How many fights has Canelo had?
Roughly, yeah.
We've been fighting everyone, fam. Fights everyone. When Matchroom, we're just feeding them guys to get beat up.
The British boys.
Just feeding them just to get beat up.
Feed him to the beast.
When is he fighting Plant?
Like 20th of November.
I got Plant winning that.
Huh?
I just want Canelo to lose. I hate that guy.
Boy,
I hate that guy so much.
Special fam.
Why do you hate Canelo?
It's just so annoying. I don't know why. It's so good, but it's so annoying. And he should have a loss on it. He should have 2 losses on his record, man.
Two?
Yeah.
Oh, the blocking.
Yeah.
And potentially Lara as well.
People say Lara, but I had Lara was inactive.
Inactive, no, he just wasn't as aggressive as, basic people want him to be.
Well, when you're fighting someone, as you said, you're fighting the favourite, you have to beat them convincingly.
I need to rewatch the fight before I remember Lara should have won, but,
When you,
It was close though.
yeah, when it's close, they always favour the cash cow, don't they? And that's what happened in the first fight between Wilder and Fury. It wasn't close, but they managed to give Wilder a controversial draw.
that doesn't get spoken on enough.
That it wasn't close.
Because everyone says it quietly, like when you watch all the analysts talk about it, they're like, oh, well, Fury kind of won the first fight. Fury outrightly won the first fight.
Everyone says he won the first fight. I've not heard anyone.
No, but I mean, the boxing experts per se, they don't actually harp on the point that actually Fury actually won that fight. Obviously, because since then, Fury's won the second one and not the third one. But even after between the first and second, they didn't actually make it clear like Fury actually won this fight. Actually got robbed.
Yeah, well, Fury didn't make excuses like one Wilder. I want to go for those list of excuses soon. Anyway, the third fight, the most enthralling of the 3.
Trilogy.
The trilogy. Well, I don't know, we're going straight into the boxing. I need to introduce the boxing connoisseur. Big Io.
Big A.
Peace be unto this pod, man. Peace be unto this pod.
Amen.
Happy to have you here, man.
Safest hands in Bexley.
Happy to have you here, man.
Thanks for having me again. It's my third visit still.
This is his trilogy.
This is trilogy as well, man. Don't get knocked out, man.
I'm on it still. I'm on it.
You're on it, man.
On it, man.
We're happy to have you
And
here.
cheers to many more.
I know, man.
Man,
Yeah, let's talk this Fury Wilder fight. I guess we can go round by round, isn't it? Maybe if you want, it's a good.
Break it down, yeah.
Break it down round by round. So round 1. Who wants to discuss this round?
Round 1, Wilder. He showed us the things he's been working on, and for a minute, for the 3 minutes, you're thinking, oh, Wilder's gonna show us a different wrinkle to his game. Some adjustments he's made. A jab into the body. I was like, wow. Because I remember I said if he jabs to the body, commits to the body, he can make it interesting. And there's even one nice right low hook.
He got a nice right.
Or straight. I think it was a hook that he hit to Fury, rippled his body. I think, damn, like you're actually doing things here. But that was the first round. He won that first round, in my opinion, quite clearly. Mainly due to activity, but
Did you say you won it?
yeah, he won the first round still.
I think at the end of the first round, Fury fed him something.
oh, he did, yeah. That's true.
Fury fed him something.
And that's when the fight changed.
That's the moment that's when Wilder realized, oh wow, this fight ain't as easy.
He did still.
Fury's book shelf. I think Wilder's book shelf has probably got like 3 books on it. I don't think he's got many books or wrinkles to his game. He came out with a jab, and then after that round, did he show it again? Round 2, did he show anything?
Showed it a bit in round 2.
You think he was still punching to the body?
Showed it a bit in
A
round
bit.
2.
I think by the end of round 2, it was gone. And I think he might have hit Fury once there, maybe even round 4 or 5. But by the end of round 2, in terms of a consistent attack,
He wasn't the aggressor in round 2. I think Fury found his feet and a bit of his range in round 2.
He definitely started to find his range in the second round.
In the second round, I think the things with from my view in the second round, the first 2 rounds for Wilder was every shot Wilder hit was with power. Everything was with power. Nothing was just like a range finder or just to keep him at distance. Everything was with power.
And therein lies the problem.
Yeah, round 3. He looked tired.
Because that's if you throw everything with power. I mean, to the break those guys. Have you ever played other boxing games?
I played the boxing game, but I see the energy level goes down.
Yeah.
So, to be fair, they bring out the ES Sports Boxing Club game. I think at the end of this year, hopefully. And I was watching some of it, breakdown of the game earlier on today, and so it was quite interesting. Got Fury on the roster. I think they got Canelo.
So,
It's interesting because they haven't released a box game in 10 years.
in a minute still.
10 years, boy.
been a
Usually
minute.
you get one every 2-3 years. But yeah, when you play those boxing games, if you just throw haymakers after haymaker, your stamina goes down quick. Especially if you're missing. But if you just throw haymaker, your stamina goes down. And when people hit you when your stamina's down, the impact is multiplied by a lot. Now punches say that will used to add to take 0.5% of your health. Now taking 3 and 4 and 5% of your health just at a time. Obviously, when you accumulate punches at that level, you're gonna go down and get hurt. So, yeah, Wilder, by throwing those haymakers consistently, and obviously coupled with the fact that Fury was using his weight, wrestling him, you're just sapping his energy.
It was, to be fair, before the fight even happened, I was concerned with Wilder because he said he was gonna put on weight. And obviously Wilder's he's a slender guy.
Yeah.
One of my boys calls him a blown up cruiserweight. I wouldn't go that far, but he's a slender heavyweight, innit? So for you to put on extra muscle before the fight, obviously it was understandable why he wanted to do it, so that he's not getting moisted in the clinches and whatnot. But at the end of the day, his body's not built to carry that much muscle, so you're gonna fatigue way earlier than you're meant to. So I was concerned, and it happened even earlier than I expected. I expected it to happen.
He said he benches for his weight though.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything though.
That was the dumbest comment. What does that mean?
He's not meant to.
Is he gonna bench? He's gonna bench him in the
He's
ring.
not meant to be like a big unit. It's the same as AJ as well. AJ's not naturally some hench guy. Like
when he gets too henchy,
he's not naturally that size, innit? He went into the gym and weightlifted to get to that size. So when you find out your optimum weight and you can operate your optimum weight, then that's when you'll get the best out of your actual boxing.
Yeah, it's true.
You normally operate at what, 220? That 220?
210, 220, yeah.
Yeah.
That is, and then you to fight at 237. You know what 20 pounds of weight is? That's a lot. Carry that in your arms.
And it was all muscle. Like he was still in good shape, but it was all muscle. So
I mean, Boss, I would say, especially since the bouncer thingy fight, because arms fight. Muscle doesn't win fights.
it doesn't still.
Doesn't win fights.
It doesn't
At all. Like, I'm not sure if you saw the Dr. Umar.
I
think I saw that today.
Yeah.
Talking about this guy's he said he didn't watch the fight, but saying, Wilder's chiseled, this, that. Fury's like a fat guy, blah, 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 not in shape. But yeah, bosses don't win fight, and there's a difference between in shape and in condition. Fighting condition.
Exactly. He was in condition. I think Fury can go 15 rounds, man.
He's a fighter. I mean, at the end of the day, Fury's been fighting out of the room, man. He's probably born boxing gloves. He's born into a fighting family. I mean, guys like him and Firmino, they're born into a fighting family. That's all they know, and that's why they're so skilled and have so many wrinkles. I mean, go down to other greats like, Ali was a bit later. He's apparently started boxing at 13, and Sugar Robinson started between 12 and 15. Do you recall when Ray Leonard started?
Ray Leonard was early though.
Yeah, these guys.
He was early, like 11 or something.
These guys started
When did
early.
Tyson fight?
Tyson.
I think it was like 16, something.
16, yeah, because he had some issues.
That's just late, but
he had power though.
he had crazy power, especially for his size and height. But guys like this is why I give guys like Wilder and AJ a bit of I let them off the hook a bit because in this regard is that they started boxing at 18 and 20.
I'm not giving no one any.
That's true.
I give them a bit of a reprieve.
That's actually
You're
very
giving them
late.
a reprieve, but they're in the.
Listen, like they started boxing at 18, 20. You finally come against a guy Fury who's been boxing fighting at least boxing straight out of the womb. That accumulation of years, the amount of time you accumulate, the skills, the know-how, just the instincts, everything.
How many people they've beaten that have been fighting for years? They've beaten a lot of people that have been fighting for years. Just for Wilder.
Yeah, but they don't have the ability. If you have someone that has the ability, the physical and the mental ability, and he's been fighting for that long.
It's long.
It's long.
It's because Joshua and Wilder, well, Wilder less so. Wilder tries to impose his kind of fight on boxers. Yeah. That's one thing I can't fault Wilder for. Wilder knows what he is. Wilder was not trying to be in that ring for 12 rounds. Yeah. I think Wilder in his mind is thinking, I need to do this 4 rounds. I have to get him. I have to knock him out. Any longer, boy, I'm in big trouble. That's why I think he got so wait, Joshua is trying to prove a point to someone. I don't know who he's trying to prove.
He definitely is.
I don't know who he's trying to prove the point to.
He's trying to prove a point to people that doubted his boxing ability.
No one cares. He's not for. Joshua's for the masses. The masses don't care about your boxing. The masses want to see you box.
But at the end of the day, he's like he considers himself to be like a student
of the game.
That is like.
Nah, I don't want to see a student.
So, if well-respected people are knocking his boxing ability, he was thinking, raw, like.
Who's the one? Is it Lennox Lewis that always?
Lennox Lewis is just on him. He's just on him still.
I think because he didn't sign his promotion.
Yeah, he's on him.
Is that why he hates him so much?
Yeah. Since then, apparently, that's what caused the beef.
Even Andre Ward has criticised him. Tim Bradley criticised him. Like these are
ESPN company man.
Tim Bradley, not so much. Someone like Andre Ward, whoever is legit or illegitimate, like when they're talking like that against you, you're gonna hear it. I mean, those are respected guys. To be fair, guys like Forever back been in his corner, but there's other.
Floyders and back losers, so I don't think he took.
Well, I don't think he's really spoken to him after this, but before. But the other guys, with high esteem, so-called experts that have criticised his boxing ability, particularly the Americans, if I remember correctly. And so,
but the Americans are always trying to discredit British people. They only really credit him Fury because he's not.
Well, credit Fury because he's fights in ESPN, he fights in America, and
he beats up his.
To be fair, as a character, the Americans like that type of character. So yeah, he ingratiates himself well with that crowd.
That's what it is.
But like I was saying, like the accumulation of skill and know-how, and that's why when it gets to moments of adversity, Fury has that muscle memory of knowing how to circumvent this. Wilder and AJ, not really. Did it? Fury, because he's been boxed so much. There's a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, D, E, F. There's probably a plan all the way up to Z, similar to with Mayweather. When the guy does this, I could do this. When the guy does this, I do this. When this goes this way, I do this. AJ and Wilder, after a certain point. Wilder, after that point, plan B is done. AJ, when he played against Usyk, he basically had a plan A. I mean, maybe I don't really recall him trying to do anything else in that fight.
Did he try to knock him out? I didn't even see him throw a big shot.
Couldn't really
How many power shots did he throw in that fight?
I don't think he threw many. Well, he threw a couple, but he couldn't really land them or plant his feet because Usyk was.
You have to corner that man and beat him up, man. Street ball things.
The footwork was a bit mad in that fight still.
Yeah, Chisora hunted him down though.
No, he did, but obviously Chisora's got a different style. Chisora's like relentless. He just gloves up, just peekaboo style, and then just walks him down. He doesn't mind receiving a punch to land.
But the thing is, someone was saying that guy like Usyk and Fury is annoying power. It's not. I'm gonna knock you out, but it's enough power to.
Because it's like sustained.
Yeah, it's enough power. Like, oh wow, I got hit.
Yeah.
I got hit.
Yeah, you can't walk through their punches.
Yeah. I think
you could not fair fisted. You can't walk through that's what people said to me. He's got no power in his punches, but guys won't just walking through his punches. Like
it's annoying. It's annoying, but it's an accumulation of those punches.
If it's not like Paulie Malignaggi, fair enough, you can walk through his punches. But most of these elite boxers, even though they have no power, you can't walk through their punches like that.
It's annoying power. It's consistent. It's just there and there and there. And speed, like what I realized about Fury with Wilder, it wasn't that every punch was going to knock him down. It was just that every punch was taking a toll. Every punch was taking a toll on Wilder, and you can just see that's a worse beating, to be honest. That every punch is taking a toll because you don't know when you're done.
Fury landed 150 punches.
He just knocking it.
Double the amount.
It's like it's a punching bag. It was literally a bag.
If Wilder landed 30 more punches, you might want to fight. Especially if you landed like 10 more straights.
At one point,
especially early in the fight,
the disparity was double.
It was double all through in the end as well, 72 to 150.
Even though round one, which Wilder won, Fury landed more punches.
It got a bit mad like midway through the fight where after he knocks.
Oh yeah, from round 5 to 11, it was just that was like a guy trying to steal someone's lunch money.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. To be honest.
That was straight.
The one knockdowns that you got on Fury, round 4.
Yeah, it was good. I think the first one was impressive. The 1-2 Fury got lax. And when you get lax, you get hurt.
I think Fury, you got lax, you got complacent. And maybe for Wilder was there for the killing because obviously in round 3, Wilder got saved by the belt. But credit to Wilder and elite level boxers, they recover quickly. Like a minute on the stool, basically recover to a decent level. Normal man, that would take like 10, 20. Well, God will recover until like.
Not me though.
For a few hours or something.
Not me.
He recovered quickly.
As I said before the pod, I'm lasting about maybe 2 rounds with Chisora.
2? You said that round before?
I said a round, but now I'm thinking if I keep running away, come on. I think I can outrun Chisora. I don't think Chisora's in shape. I'm not calling him out though. I don't want to fight.
When he just closes the gap
I heard Dr. Umar and Mike Tyson might be fighting soon as well.
What?
Did I hear that?
Where did you hear that from?
Dr. Umar said he wants to fight Mike Tyson.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said that.
In jest.
No, for Charlie. He said,
Swear.
You should fight Kevin Samuel.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know what he's gonna do. I know they're still they're beefing, but I don't know. I heard that.
What, when Freddie Gibbs was on Mike
Yeah.
Tyson's podcast.
He responded to that. That's what he
He
responded.
responded.
Yeah, he said
Did
just
Freddie Gibbs
already.
Freddie Gibbs was on Mike Tyson's podcast, the hot boxing thing.
Yeah.
Then he was talking about white women in it, and then then he must have said, "Oh, like Dr. Umar was like, it's not gonna."
They're gonna be impressed with that.
he's not
Yeah.
gonna be impressed with this.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's like, he's Dr. Umar.
I had to watch that.
Who is this guy? And Freddie Gibbs was just telling him what he does in it, and then he was just like,
Got hate in his heart.
he's like, who does he think he is? All this stuff like.
Yeah, Dr. Umar responded. So he
It's
said,
funny, it's
and he was
actually
doing,
joke.
and he was doing some. He was doing this. He was getting knocked out.
Is it?
Shout
doing
out
this.
to him. He's got 2 wives. Shout out him
He's
out,
got
man.
two.
They got
Dr.
his
Umar's
things
on.
still.
This is what
Talking
he
about
does.
the Ogun energy and that. Shout out Jordan Agunde. You know, you can give us more insight when you come on.
What's he doing?
I'm having him on, but he's coming on in 2 weeks.
Yeah, bring him on, man. What's it? Anyway, Dr. Umar's name's like Ifatunde something. I don't know where he got that name from.
Sunday, fam.
Anyway, back to the boxing.
But yeah, I mean, Wilder knocked him down the right straight, set up well. Followed up. Second knockdown was a bit strange.
He hit him in the back of the head, and it was kind of off balance.
Yeah, Wilder no,
Still buzzed from the first one.
Yeah, and again, Fury got saved by the ball as well.
What I did not like about Wilder's approach there is he went wild. It was so wild.
It's part of his name. I mean,
It should have been so much more measured. You had Fury buzz. You need to hit a proper clean shot. You're just whacking. Whack.
Measured and Wilder don't go in.
Yeah, you have to be so
together,
much more. It's awful.
that's what he does. I mean, the freezing arms and someone to make that person, and that's what he does.
That was
Mr.
so
Flavor.
stupid.
Just goes
So
crazy.
stupid. So stupid. Anyway, from after those 2 knockdowns, I think Fury just decided, I've had enough of this idiot, and he just bulldozed this man. I
Oh,
can't.
it was bad.
It was so deep.
It was bad.
And that theory about maybe Fury was holding up, I'm gonna agree because Fury will give him like a 1-2. Then all of a sudden he'll just cuddle him. Bro, give yourself distance and knock this guy out every single time.
Yeah, that's why people say you carried him.
He carried him, man.
Well,
It
he
was
carried
just-
him literally.
but the way he was putting the weight on
I
it
don't
was
think.
deep.
I personally don't think he was carrying him though. I thought that was just normal tactics.
He was
innit?
doing it all the time. He would
But it
hurt
made
him.
sense though. It
He
made
was
sense.
hurting.
If I was
1-2 hurt. The guy's clearly hurt, and then he'll just cuddle him.
Yeah, but Wilder's dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
Wilder,
Exactly.
especially what Wilder is that one of the two things. He's one of the best desperation fighters I've ever seen, and he's also when he looks like he kind of plays possum. I'm not sure it's by design or just happens, but when he looks shot and down and out, he can still catch you something wild and mad. So you got to make sure you got to take your time.
Okay.
To me, like technically, the Fury's performance wasn't that good.
It was
wasn't
awful.
like-
We got
but
hit.
tactically, I think it was. You can't really fault it because every time he hit him with a 1-2, which was open all night, he was just hitting him with a 1-2, then smother him, clinch him, put his head under his
Oh, that was so deep.
armpit. So, like to me, it was perfect tactically because all the smothering eventually paid off and he knocked him out at the right time. If he rushed in and thought, okay, I'll hit him with a 1-2, let me just finish this fight here, could have got caught with something on the way in. So it was calm. I thought it was calm to be honest.
Yeah.
The way he approached it.
Going on for your point about Fury technically not being at the races. I mean, head movement wasn't that great.
Mhm.
Feet weren't that great.
It wasn't still.
At first, I was thinking he didn't really commit to the body enough, but then through the later rounds, you saw they did. I mean, just from a technical standpoint, even him himself, he admitted it wasn't one of his best fights. But in moments of adversity, mentally he stood up to be counted. He didn't waver. He went to a different level. He proved that his heart is there with the best of them, and was able to pull out the victory out of the bag and do what he needed to do.
It looks so deep, man. I'm gonna clench him, put him in the headlock, give him a couple punches in the belly, then tell him to get back up and then do it again. I thought there was on repeat. There was some like response from Wilder. He gave a couple swings, especially when he looked like he was unresponsive. Then occasionally he would just move his arms, because it was getting deep. It's getting deep. Like
He got taken to deep waters still.
where he was, I don't ever want to be there for him.
He showed heart, man. But I just think he could have avoided having to show heart if he just applied some better technical.
Wilder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not like
Have
obviously
you-
there's always like people love when people show heart and that, but sometimes you can avoid
That was
having to
just-
show heart.
That was utter stupidity. Those rounds were knocking off years of his life. Every single round he was in there.
Well,
From
he wants
round
to go
5 to 11, he lost 6 years of his life, dog.
Well, he wanted to go out on his shield.
He did.
Whoa, that
That
shield's
was the
broken.
whole. I fall out for the second fight. You know, don't throw in the towel. If you throw in the towel, fight, which he did, Mark Brilliant. But anyways, he fired him. But he wanted to go on his shield, and he did.
Mike Breland, man. Apparently, man. To be honest, Wilder's thing about the Mike Breland and all that cheating, it
Mark
makes no
Breland,
sense
Mark
to me.
Mark.
Mark.
Mm.
What did I say, mad?
You're saying Mike.
Mike.
Oh, Mark. It just makes no sense because he was saying the gloves.
Mhm.
How many excuses? The water was spiked, the gloves, the suit.
trainer, the suit.
Mark was getting paid by Fury.
Right.
Fam.
Yeah, Wilder's deluded. That's
Egg
part of the
weights.
reason.
The one that Fury did break it down is like, okay, if his coaches were in it, Jay Diaz was in the ring when he was getting his gloves on.
Yeah.
So why didn't he fire him?
Mm-hmm. Simple logic, because this Wilder deluded. He needed to convince himself the reason why he didn't lose was because he was the lesser man to go into the
He couldn't even
rematch.
say he said he doesn't respect Fury and Fury beat him up.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
he dislikes him, innit?
I mean,
Like, don't worry, White's gonna get his hands on him.
in his defense, when you're taking the feet of that man, especially someone that you've been,
Mhm.
you know, you've been suing over for 18 plus months, won't be the easiest moment for you to be like, oh yeah, let's shake hands, happy days. You know, sometimes people are gonna take it the wrong way, which he did, or take it the other way rather, which he did, and you know, that's just the way it is.
I can't wait for White to get his hands on Wilder.
That would be a brilliant fight.
Well, he's lucky because Wilder doesn't really throw uppercuts, so
Oh yeah, true. That's the only
It's true still.
uppercuts. White doesn't want to see Joshua then because that's one of Joshua's best shots.
Yes.
Will give him sleepy time.
he didn't throw enough against. Benny sort of throwing against Usyk.
Usyk don't put his head down like that. You think Usyk need to? Usyk not. I've never seen Usyk's head parallel with the ground. Never. Only idiots.
You rarely see that. Still.
Only idiots are putting their head down.
Yeah, but Wilder, I mean, he showed a lot of heart, like you said. His energy for rounds.
Hey, why is heart a good thing? I don't know.
It is a good thing.
It's a dumb thing.
No, do you know why it's a good thing? In like elite fights, when you've been taken, like let's say you're applying good technical skills throughout the fight, and you're doing majority of things correctly, but the fight is just deep.
Just
Like legendary fights like Hearns, Hagler, all them kind of guys.
There was no response.
All
He
them
was
man-
just getting beat up. That wasn't heart. That
So
was plain stupidity.
that's a situation where heart isn't obviously heart is always good, but it's not always needed. Is what I said. But in like fights like the legendary fights like Hagler, Hearns, and all these kind of fights where it's elite technical skill, rough, everything. That's when heart
But
is
that's
needed.
heart when you're both going. It's 50-50.
Yeah,
We're here. We're both going out. We're both solid. That wasn't 50-50.
yeah.
At what point was it 50-50? Maybe round 4. From then on, if he was to score the fight, how many rounds did you give Wilder?
I gave him 2, but I could see people giving him 3 at best.
Yeah.
What ones?
I gave him 1 and 4. Obviously, 4 to 10-7, and I think you could give him 5 if you wanted to.
I thought it was game. That's when the onslaught.
Because at the start of 5, he landed a few good punches. 1 and 4 definitely, and 5 maybe. I think 5 was potential swing round in my opinion, but most people would give it to Fury because Fury came out strong in the end of that round.
Same man. Anyway, I don't know. What did you think of the knockout punch? I don't know.
It wasn't like devastating, but it was
good.
a lot of it was because of stamina.
Yeah,
He was just done.
one time he was bowing out through his legs. That picture, man. That was the worst picture.
It was a clean right, man. It was
Clean right, I mean,
Just heavy drop.
it was coming. It was
It was.
inevitable.
It was.